Bonjour et bienvenue, welcome to la channel de nonsense and the car equivalent of a Labubu, because I don't really know what they are, but they're incredibly popular. Everyone seems to be getting one, but I'm not sure why, other than the interesting look. So this is my review of the Renault 5. We're going to find out what it's been like to live with for a week. Stay tuned and, well, watch the rest of the video, because apparently I meant to say that. Let's go. This lovely, delectable little slice of French pastry EV love hatchback thing. We'll set you back 21.5 grand in the UK at the moment. For that you get 120 horsepower going to the front wheels and a small 40 kilowatt hour battery that's only good for 192 miles on paper, so a bit less in the real world. This version though that I've got has got 150 horsepower and a bigger 52 kilowatt hour battery. It's good for 252 miles, again on paper. That said, this one has got £400 of optional black roof to go with the free colour, which is this lovely pop green paintwork, which has got a wonderful silver metallic sparkle in it. And you can choose what colour line you have around the doors if you're not getting the entry level model. You can also get it in yellow. I think you're going to see most of these in yellow. That's 800 quid or £1,200 extra if you want yellow with a black roof to make it look like a French bumblebee. Looks wise, well, it's like we've been force-fed car designs at the equivalent of bland strawberry Pop-Tarts for 3 years, and we're suddenly allowed to have a korma or a butter chicken or whatever curry you like, because this is a really good bit of design. Obviously, it harks back to the old Renault 5s, but with modern dimensions, modern proportions. It just works so well. This has turned so many more heads than the McLaren that I filmed the other week, especially in this green colour. And just by the way, the prices that I quoted at the start of this video are all taking into account the 1.5 grand you now get off one of these, thanks to the UK government's car grant. But anyway, LED headlights, lovely square daytime running lights. I can almost get my words out as well. You've got the charging flap around this side. You can pay £400 to have a Union Jack decal fitted to the roof. I don't know why you'd do that. It should be a French one, surely. You get 18-inch diamond cut alloy wheels on this Techno model. You can step up and you can get an iconic 5 model, and above that's the Roland Garros model, which celebrates either tennis or an airport. I can't work out which. I'm going to give you a clue. I already really like this because it's a small car. It feels the right size for living here in the UK. It's about 3.9 metres long. It weighs 1.45 tonnes depending on what battery pack you get. And those battery packs aren't just ripped from the old Zoe, they're liquid cooled ones in this, and they can fast charge at either 80 kilowatts in the small battery or 100 kilowatts in the bigger battery, and you get a heat pump as standard. Someone tell the premium manufacturers that it can be done. But yeah, it looks really, really good from the side. You can spot this one in a car park quite easily. Oh, but it's not all gravy, because it is quite cheap for an EV. It's not cheap, I know 22 grand's a lot of money, but look, you do get quite tinny door opening sounds. That exterior charm is not lost, and it doesn't evaporate when you get inside the Renault 5. In fact, it gets even more charming. There's lots of denim and cloth. The seats are lovely. It's all just really well designed, and the technology is really well integrated as well. So on most of these, you get a 10.3-inch dashboard. It's a smaller 7-inch one if you get the entry-level model. And you get a big, similarly sized infotainment screen with wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, although you don't get built-in sat-nav on the entry-level model. On all the others, you get Google Maps and Google Everything built in. So if you look in the driver's display, you can see Google Maps in there. And all the ambient lighting, this one changes depending on what driving mode you're in. You can change there. It just changes the throttle response and maximum speed for eco mode and things like that. Physical-ish buttons on the steering wheel, they're okay. That button with the orange light, you press that twice and it turns off the speed limit warning. Mid-spec ones like this, upwards get wireless charging. You've got 2 USB-Cs, a 12 volt, little space for the key, which is still one of those annoying flat Renault ones. I don't really like those. They get lost in my pockets a bit. And some little diddy door bins as well. The glove box is an okay size. It's full width and it's deep. And on mid-spec models and upwards, you can open this and it's storage. I think on entry-level ones, you either can't open it or it's not there. Right, criticisms. You can't really always see the digital dashboard in my driving position. I have to have a slightly unnatural driving position to be able to see through the steering wheel. Not sure what's going on there, but the ergonomics of this car aren't quite right. Likewise, the gear shift selector there, big stalk, hasn't got a park setting, so you have to put it in neutral and put the handbrake on. It's got this lovely little Renault logo on the end. Why can't I press that to put it into park? Also, this corner of the car rattles all the time in this one. it is a bit rattly, and put that together with the tinny doors and it feels like a cheaper car, then the rest of the cabin really makes it feel like a bit of a shame, but the rest of it, c'est phenomenal, and I like the roof as well. I should point out that wherever there's fabric that's not denim, it's made from recycled bottles, so it's sustainable and lovely as well. Now, one last word on the interior, accessories. You can get the now quite famous £120 wicker baguette holder to clip in there, but for £10 or £11 you can get a variety of different coloured boxes that go in here to give you more compartments, and different coloured lids for about 40 quid as well, which is quite cool. If you get the next trim up from this, the iconic 5, you get heated seats and a heated steering wheel. You don't need them in this because it's got cloth seats. I just don't think you need heated seats if they're made of cloth, but someone will tell me I'm an idiot in the comments. They usually do. Hi, overexposed Tim here to show you that you open the rear doors by using that handle there. That's my driving position. I'm 6'3", and backseat space is... You have to dislocate your hip if you're a slightly lanky, slightly fat man like me. Yeah, that's my driving position. I do not fit in this whatsoever, but for my kids, they've really enjoyed it. On the little booster seats, and you've got a little tag here showing you the 1972 Renault 5, 1981, 1994, and now on the 2024 one. Very plasticky, but you have got electric windows back here. And if I sit all the way upright, I do run out of headroom despite the boxy proportions, but only just, to be fair. Now, the Isofix points are easy to find, but the cloth around them looks like it's been cut by Stevie Wonder. It's not very good. It's a bit messy, and there's some foam sticking out. But, yeah, it's a small car. It's nice they've given it more doors. Luckily, there's a bigger version. Let's talk about the back end design, because this has got more retro bum features than the back alley behind a Berlin antique shop. So yeah, obviously you've got these very detailed horizontally slatted tail lights, which look very nice, and the kind of theme continues diagonally across the back here. And I really like the 5 logo. I don't know if it's going to date quite quickly, but I like the work they've done there. If you buy an entry-level one of these, the 21.5 grand one, you get a whip antenna, and you don't get any parking sensors. This Techno model gets rear but not front parking sensors, and this one has got a reversing camera as well. Now, all Renault 5s can do something quite unusual for a small electric car. They can tow. You can pay about £680 to fit a tow bar of all the associated electronics, and you can tow up to 500 kilograms on an unbraked trailer, which isn't loads, but if you're going camping and you've just got one of those trailers to fill with tents and stuff, ideal. Look, it's even got a rear wiper there. Now, boot space, not huge, 326 litres. There's a big load lip there dropping down into it, but you can lift a little flap up there, and there's a little French cavern to store your cables in down there. And you can flip the back seats down and use it as a mini van for carrying sacks of potatoes across the fields. I like it. It does enough. It's spacious enough in the boot. But what about how it drives? Let's go and find out. With all of this lovely interior texture and the looks and all the rest of it, it would be a real shame if this Renault 5 was a complete chien to drive, but it's not. So let's go for a quick drive. Put your foot in your brake. This goes down into D or B. It goes into B initially to give you more engine braking, motor regeneration. And then away you go. And actually, this is very easy to drive. The view up the back corners is really quite bad because they've done that kind of C-pillar styling exercise on it, which is a bit of a shame. But for a small car with a short wheelbase, this rides really quite nicely. Often cars with short wheelbases, they go like this a lot. And the longer the wheelbase, the more luxurious it is. Hence, limousines. But anyway, this has got some reasonably fancy suspension going on. So it's got the front end off a Clio, and it's got a multi-link rear suspension setup, this is a bit nerdy, that's from the 4x4 Dacia Duster, and then tweaked a little bit. But the long and short of it is, it doesn't jiggle you too much, it doesn't annoy you, and it's not too firm. Now, what it isn't is massively fun to drive. I'm in sport mode, 0 to 62, and this one is 7.9 seconds. It's more like 9 seconds, I think, in the 120 horsepower version. When you're rolling and you put your foot down, it gets a shift on, but it's got quite a soft, kind of like garlic butter throttle response. So when you boot it from a standstill, it takes a little while to wake up. It doesn't have any ferocity to it, which is fine because they're probably saving that for the Alpine version of this. What it is though is just very easy going, very easy to drive. You can change your driving modes using this multi-sense button down here. So you've got personal, you've got sport, comfort and eco. I leave it in either comfort or sport, but I was going around the M25 to Heathrow the other night and I put it in personal simply because the colour scheme for personal on the dashboard is purple, and it makes all the cabin light up purple at night. Yes, I'm quite vain when it comes to things like that. But yeah, motorway speeds, it's kind of okay. Refinement's not too bad. Not really any wind noise off the mirrors. You get a bit of tyre noise, and actually around that really rubbish bit of the M25, the bit near the A3 where it's just like concrete blocks across the road, this performed really, really quite well. Sorry, I'm just going to slow down for these dogs because they're very cute. Very cute dogs. But yeah, it's cool. In terms of efficiency, I've averaged 4.1 miles per kilowatt hour, which sounds kind of like okay, averagely good, but in the 120 miles I've done this car, about 100 have been on motorways at 70 or 70, they've all been at 70. Now, it is much easier to get this to 5 miles per kilometre an hour, in which case you're gonna get close to that 250 mile range mark. So it's doable, I like that. It's just a shame, I don't know, it's not giving me any excitement, that front wheel drive. It can get a bit scrappy out of junctions, but not really in an entertaining way. The steering is direct, you've got a bit of body roll. It doesn't feel super wallowy and French, and I would quite like that. But yeah, 2 presses of this, and all the ADAS stuff goes off, which is great. You don't have to faff around with screens and then crash while you're turning the safety systems off. Brakes, they just feel like normal brakes. I've not noticed anything untoward about the brakes. There's no horrible crossover between physical brakes and the regen. It's an easy car to drive. Anyway, let's head back to me for a full conclusion. I wish there was a park button. It's fine, but you've got to kind of just get it into neutral, so up a little bit, sorry, down a little bit, then handbrake when you come to a stop. Or you can just turn it off, but you can't just press a button, stick it in P. Bit annoying. So as the sun sets on my week with the Renault 5, I just want to give a virtual round of applause to Renault. I don't normally applaud car companies, but bringing a car that looks this good to the market, both inside and out, does deserve some praise. But then take the applause away, negative applause, because they've just released a new Clio and it looks a bit rubbish. But anyway, as a car to live with, this has been great. To drive, it's comfortable, it's not loads of fun in the corners or anything like that. It's brisk enough, it's efficient enough. Unless you take it on a motorway, then the efficiency drops like every other small EV, so can't really hold that against it too much. Price-wise, 21 to 26 grand, it's there or thereabouts what you expect for a small EV, but for one that looks this good and feels this good, that's pretty good. Negatives. Tinny doors, some hard plastics on the interior, useless rear seats and a small-ish rear boot, but that's not actually that bad for the size of car. And it can't fast charge quite as quickly as you might want, but with a small battery, it doesn't really make much difference. So yes, I'm going to give it 8 Tim Roadies out of 10. It's one of the most interesting small EVs on the market, but importantly, just driving it around, it's made so many people smile, give me a thumbs up, wave. I think the colour helps a lot as well, but it's been more exciting for the general public, more interesting, made people happier than that McLaren that I filmed last week. Not sure if I put that video out yet, but anyway, thank you for watching this. I filmed it on about 3 hours sleep. I just got back from Munich. Like it if you've liked this video, subscribe to the channel, go down to the comments and tell me how Renault 5s were better in your day, and I will probably just ignore you. Thank you, goodbye. Love from Tim.